red stage, steel beasts roll a distant wage. Truckers' voices crying through the night, tales of speed and endless fights. Miles and miles, all our strength we give. Hauling dreams, we fight to live. Lonely highways call our name. In this life, we find our fame. Neon lights and diner blues, truck stops where we share the news. Turning wheels in endless miles, stories fill the smoky aisles. Miles and miles, all our strength we give. Hauling dreams, we fight to live. Lonely highways call our name. In this life, we find our fame. Neon lights and diner blues, truck stops where we share the news. Turning wheels and endless miles, stories fill the smoky aisles. Miles and miles, all our strength we give. Hauling dreams, we fight to live. Lonely highways.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good this fine Thursday night. We back with you here on Truckers Voices. Hey, it's good to see you again. I see y'all logged in out there, and I so appreciate it. Hey, I want to thank everybody for coming on and spending your time right here on Truckers Voices night. We got another great show lined up for you tonight, okay? You know what? We just keep hitting it out of the park. We got some special guests that we've had on here recently, and we got another special guest on tonight. And I am anxious to hear her story about how she got into the trucking industry, some of the stuff that she's doing with the company that she's with now, and just to hear everything she's got to say. Now, I will say this. I know that she's got a lot of fans out there tonight. So, hey, y'all stay tuned with us to the end. And, we'll definitely take your calls at the end of the show if you can get in there. So I have a feeling that the phone lines is going to be clogged up tonight. So we'll do our best to get you in there. We'll open those phone lines up almost to the top of the hour there. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about. And I had a great day of trucking today. Yesterday was not so great trying to get out of Atlanta, Georgia. Well, it wasn't really the traffic trying to get out. It was the traffic when my meat driver was trying to get to me. A lot of things happened and it slowed it down. But, you never make plans in the trucking industry. When you make a plan, that's when everything's going to turn south on you. So, hey, you know what? It's the trucking industry. You got to expect it to happen. And if it can't happen, it will happen. But one good thing about it is we make it happen and we keep America moving forward. And we are the backbone of this country. Guess what? I think I got Mr. Steve Brand waiting in the wings to come on here. And he wants to say a few things to y'all tonight. But we are so glad to have you on there tonight. So come on in here, Mr. Steve Brand.
Rolling, they hating, patrolling, and trying to get me riding dirty. Gets me riding dirty, trying to get me riding.
Steve.
What is going on, my friend?
No riding dirty on your side, right?
Well, it's rained enough. It's got all the filth and salt off my truck, but it's still pretty dirty. I need to wash it, but hey, there again, I'm going to wash it. I'm not going to wash it. I'm going to wash it. But, it's all good, man. It's all good. Got back off my little mini vacation last week. Me and the family went down to the Caribbean on a big cruise ship. Had a blast. Got a little sunburnt, but and then, yes, I did put sunscreen on, just not enough, I guess. But it's all good. It's all good.
Notice you got a glow there to you, brother.
Exactly. I was doing a little peeling there earlier, but we about got that straightened out. So, weather's been fairly decent. It's kind of a roller coaster up here. It's spring one day, winter the next. So, yeah, it's all good. And then rain and
You got
so.
bipolar weather, kind of like we have down here in South Georgia. Whoever knew we would have got 8 inches of snow down here in Valdosta, Georgia, just several weeks ago.
That is incredible. I just Mother Nature. Like I asked you that one day, what you guys did to make Mother Nature bad down there? But
Oh
no,
man, I tell
we,
you.
we left just in time. We cut out of here a week ago. This past Saturday, we left Columbus and it was 40 degrees and rain. We got to Miami. It was 80 degrees and humidity. I walked up that plane and I said, "Y'all feel that? Y'all feel that? That's humidity. We haven't seen that in months." But then I kind of got service in and out, and I was watching it. It was staying in the teens, low 20s up here. They got about 4 to 6 inches of snow on Sunday up here. Only thing I seen that was white was sandy beaches. So picked a good week to go, I'm telling you. But
So you highly recommend it, don't you?
oh yeah, you need to get out of that. But
What do you think about what do you think about our guest we got lined up coming in tonight, man?
I think it's awesome. I think she's an awesome lady, and I can't wait to hear her story. And this is what we do here. We just go all over the genre and get anybody and everybody to talk about everything in the trucking industry. Because you know what they say, brother. Without trucking, nothing
Right.
without trucking.
Nothing without trucking for sure, and that's definitely true. You would have nothing without trucking. What do you think? What's the odds of we got a lot of ABF guys and gals listening to us tonight? What do you think about that?
I think it's awesome. I think
Yeah.
it's awesome. Me and a fellow ABFer was talking today, and like we always say, and like was told to me way back when Hector was a pup. Well, my grandpa used to say, I ain't figured out who Hector is, but whatever. We all do the same job, and we're all out here for the same two things:
That's right.
make money, support our family, and do it safely. It don't matter what the name is on the hat, on the shirt. It don't matter. We're all doing the same thing. And that's what I've noticed in this industry. That part of the camaraderie, boy, that's difficult word.
Camaraderie.
There you go.
I'm glad I don't pay you that big money.
Exactly. That has left us. The CB radio, people don't run it no more. They don't wave at you no more. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I said like this. I'll give you an example. He's new to the industry, and I said, this guy running in front of me, if he'd blow a tire, and this was 30 years ago, I'd pull over right behind him.
Right.
I said, we didn't have cell phones, and there's a rest area a mile up the road. Well, if he couldn't make it to the rest area, I'd run up to the rest area, call his dispatch, give him his truck number, his name, and everything, and where he's at, and they'd get him a tire guy. That's how we used to do it, but that don't happen anymore. Shoot, they won't even get over for you if you broke down on the side of the road. But,
right.
We're trying to learn them, baby. We're trying to learn them. But hey, let me get this out of the way here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Expressed on this show are those of the host and the guest only, and do not reflect those of others. So, like I always say, don't get offended, folks. It's all good. We're just here to have a good time.
That's right. Exactly. All right. Well, hey, I tell you what. The only thing that I don't, you don't see what my reaction is when I see an ABF driver.
What?
So they're always passing me, man.
Exactly. I'm looking left, and then I see the front of their truck, and then I see the back of their truck. They're gone. But that's all right. We just rolling slow in the right lane,
Bullfrogs are coming. You can see the bullfrogs are coming, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, should we say something about our new attire real quick?
Yeah, let's say something about our new attire, and let's say something about the safety drive, because we are right upon that, and we got a lot of eyes on us tonight. Let's say something about it. So you want to go ahead and talk about the hats?
Okay, folks, we got these nice new Truckers Voices hats. Got them up for sale. $20 a hat. But Tim and I was talking. Y'all want to throw $25 in the kitty? We'll throw $5 towards safety drive. Yes, sir. We sure will.
How do you get a hat? Well, all you got to do is message me or Steve, and we'll make sure you get the hat. We'll either bring it to you to the safety drive, or we can, if you really want it real bad, we can actually put it in a box and ship it to you. Now, if you work with us, we have a way to get it to you through truck mail, so we can do that. But and if you want to buy a hat, and you can Venmo me or something. But also, I got to say something else about the safety drive coming up on March 22nd. I have a 4-burner 36-inch Blackstone griddle for raffle to help the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. Tickets are $10 each, and if you buy 2, you get the 3rd incher for free. And you can absolutely buy those tickets by donating on my page or Steve's page. Just let us know. We'll see it come through. We'll put your tickets in for you, and we will look forward to that. Now, Steve, that's enough. Let's get to our guest. She's been waiting long enough.
Yes. She's going to take off and leave us so we don't get to her.
So let's bring her on in here.
All
right, everybody. We have a champion in our midst for sure. We got Miss Robin Johnson here. Miss Robin. Miss Robin, we bring everybody in on that theme song because everybody that we have in our midst is always champions in their own right, for sure. And I know that you are a champion to ABF and to a lot of your boys. I'm going to call them your boys and your gals.
Yep.
So just take your liberty, introduce yourself, tell us all about you, and we'll just pick up from there.
Okay. Well, I'm Robin Johnson. I work at ABF Freight. Really not used to being on this side. I'm usually on your side of things. So this is very different for me. So I've been at ABF 35 years. Started in January of 1990. So
congratulations.
Last month, thank you. I hit my 35th anniversary. So
that's awesome. Now I did see a picture of you beside the ABF truck and with your bio there of with being there 35 years. But tell us a little bit about how you got started out with ABF, from back then and up until now. Kind of give us a rundown on that.
Let me start when I was a little girl, back in the 70s. My father actually was a professional truck driver for over 45 years. So that's just always been, around in my life growing up. And my mother actually, I grew up in the Dallas area until I was about 14. And my mother actually in Dallas worked for Roadway. She worked there for 5 years. Well, when I was about 14, my parents divorced and my mother moved back home to Fort Smith. This is home for her. And gave up a good job. Didn't really, single mother at this point. I have 2 sisters, so single mom and 3 girls to support. And all I heard for the next year or so was I have to get on at ABF. So back then I just knew this must be a really tough place to get hired on at. So anyway, my mom actually has been retired from ABF 11 years, and she had 30 years in at ABF. She worked in the rating department, big problem solver. So real proud of her career. But actually, just as a teenager, I started to babysit for ABFers. Lots of, here at the corporate office, lots of, and one of those happened to be the director of HR. And one day I was in college. I think it was probably, 89. And he said, Robin, have you ever thought about coming to work at ABF? And I said, no, I'm in college, just living the college life. And I was working at the time. I've only had one job prior to ABF. I'd worked at a local newspaper company. And he said, well, we hire casual student office positions. And I said, I did not know that. So he actually encouraged me to apply, and I got the job. And it was wonderful because for the next 2 years or so, they were so great to work with me on a casual basis around my college schedule. So I actually started in HR, and I was in HR for about 5 years until, 95. We were in a very small building. HR was located, we now call it line haul operations, but back then it was transportation. So I'm this young girl, you can imagine, 20, 21, 22, naive, uh, shy, and there's this whole different world going on now. In HR, it was all ladies, and I liked my job. It was a lot of fun, but honestly, I kept thinking, I don't know if I could do this. I just wasn't challenged enough. I wasn't sure that I could do this for the rest of my life, let's say. But I had a friend, a lady who worked in the transportation department, and she was uh, pregnant and was going to be able to be a stay-at-home mom. And she just encouraged me to come and apply. It was a lateral position to just move over into the transportation. It was intermodal, central dispatch. So I applied, got the job. And this was at a time when I was just, I had graduated college and they actually offered me a full-time position. So I had been full-time a couple of years at this point. So anyway, start working in intermodal in the transportation department. And it was a hard concept for me to learn, because it was as if I went from one company to another when you're talking HR and then to go into the thick of logistics. I really felt like I had gone to another company and I just loved it from the beginning. I just fell in love with it. And to be honest with you, for the last 30 years, I have been based in line haul operations, different roles over the years, but I just learned from the ground up, like we all have to start somewhere and work our way up. And I don't know. I just love.
Well, I was kind of looking over your resume there, and it looks like you started back in 1990. Uh,
Yes.
and tell us, previous to 1990, you said that you was actually babysitting for some
Mhm,
ABF. So what was
mhm.
going on during before that you was babysitting? I mean, tell us about, was you going to school, college, or
Yes,
working?
I was in high school. In fact, I remember this director of HR, I wasn't driving age yet. I wasn't 16 yet. And my mom would take me and drop me off at his house to babysit. And then when they would come home, he would have to take me home. And then, because I couldn't drive. So the world changed when I could drive because I could actually, I had, if I had every dime for the babysitting money that I made back then, I did really babysit for a lot. I love children, love them. And it was just a perfect side gig for me. I was working at the newspaper company, but I was in high school. But I mainly worked for the newspaper company on the weekends, actually Saturday and Sunday mornings from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the complaint department. So that had to set me up for the industry I'm in now, huh?
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, I babysat a lot while I was in high school. Probably almost every Friday, Saturday. I could got a steady cash job there.
Right.
Right,
So
for sure. Go ahead, Steve.
Now, you said something that I hear a lot out of
mhm,
individuals, and that was challenging. The
yes.
HR department was not challenging.
Mhm,
And, I think some of the greatest leaders in the
mhm,
industry, companies,
mhm.
that's how they got where they was or where they are, is
Yes.
because the role that they started out in was not challenging enough. And they move up and then they move up and then they move up,
You're right.
and
Mhm,
that's, I hear that a lot, you
mhm.
know,
It's
and I,
true.
I like to be challenged too, but I was
Yes.
born to be a truck driver, and that's
Yes.
what I is,
Yes.
but yeah, that's awesome. Uh,
So back in the early 90s, I'm going to say I went full time in 93 to a full time clerk in the office in HR. And I was verifying employment. So home loans was the big thing I was doing. And I'm literally taking a home loan application form and inserting it into a typewriter, right? And I'm keying in all the information by hand. And so I'm taking you back to those types of days. And I think I'd had a small computer, I'm sorry, not computer, typing class in high school, maybe a semester. So a lot of my office skills today, I come from that generation where I am just self-taught. everything on the computer now. That migrated over to the computer. 10 key, all our applications, Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office, it's all been self-taught. So that kind of takes me back to those typewriter days.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, Robin, I
Mhm.
see that, in 96 that you was a clerk, but you also had something to do with intermodal operations and stuff
Yes.
like that. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So, gosh, my first boss in intermodal operations, he just retired from ABF at the beginning of the year with 43 years of experience at our company. So
Wow.
he's just what that man taught me is incredible. He's probably what made me fall in love with the logistics side of everything. And I remember he asked me, little girl, you know what piggyback means? And I thought, all I knew was that meant you hopped on someone's shoulders, and so I began to learn, I'm telling you, when I say sheltered, naive 20-something-year-old, trucking did change that. But, he began to explain about the rail
Right.
piggyback. And, I also worked with oceanside containers, even air. I paid a lot of the invoices, and we started like electronic billing. So I got on the front of that, where we were automating our billing with these outside vendors. So that was really interesting to me because we were like going from what I call a green screen, the old anchor type CRT screen, to an
Right.
actual personal computer. That's what I remember it being called at first. So that was really interesting to me to see that technology start to happen. So I got pretty involved in electronic billing and streamlining. That really was interested in how we could be more efficient and streamline
Right.
what we were doing.
Yeah,
I even remember our first fax machine, you can believe it or not, which they're pretty obsolete nowadays, but
right.
that was like really high tech technology back then in the early 90s.
And
Yeah.
nothing come out clear with a fax machine ever.
No, it didn't. It even had that shiny paper that if you touched it.
Somebody bumped the machine or something, make it all
Yeah,
squiggly.
yeah, yeah. Used to do a lot of comm checks. I'm sure you guys know about that, where the drivers would call in and for whatever reason need a comm check. So I would
And
handle that.
you got a number that's about that
This
long that
long,
that
yes,
you had to put on the box
absolutely.
about that big. Yeah.
Hmm. And it was always some sob story, he had lost his fuel card or whatever. And I just let him, that's a big part of what I do is when you are dealing with, especially over the road drivers, you guys know this, you're alone in that cab of that truck a lot of hours. It's not a job, it actually is a lifestyle. I have learned that
It
from
is.
listening to drivers for over 3 decades.
Yes.
And sometimes you just need someone to talk to. And so I think I really am a people person, and that began. I learned early on. I'd rather listen to an upset driver any day versus an upset customer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can
Yes.
Right.
handle the drivers. You just let them go. And
Right.
usually they just need a listening ear, or they really do have a legitimate concern or question. And
Right.
I try to pride myself on, I can get you, you don't have to go to anyone else at this point. I can get you, the next person is the person you need. And I
Right.
think we all that's something missing almost in today's world, where you call and get those automated numbers and you just want to talk to a real person sometimes.
Yes.
So,
Yes. And one thing about a driver, you can let him go for a
mhm.
little while and then just tell him, shut up, driver, get back in the truck, go on. And
Well,
9 chances out of 10, they're like, yeah, okay, fine.
I've never said that, but I
We've
might
said
have
it.
thought it a time or two, but
I,
no, a
I,
lot of times they'll calm down, and they'll say, "Gosh, I'm embarrassed I even called and vented." And I'm like, it's okay. We all have our off days. We all just need a listening ear sometime. And
oh, exactly.
so, yeah,
Exactly. And
mhm,
back in the day, we didn't have them cell phones. You had a CB radio.
exactly.
And just
You're
like
right.
I told Tim in the opening monologue, back then the camaraderie was out here. A driver hit the shoulder, you hit the shoulder with him. you know.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
if he didn't have a radio or radio wasn't working or something, you hit the shoulder with him, and you go down to the next truck stop and call his company and tell them who you are, and they
Yes.
got driver so and so in truck, and he's broke down here, and you know,
Absolutely.
and you could get back out on the interstate, and you could holler at somebody going the other way and
Mhm.
say, when y'all see that truck broke down there, holler at him on the radio and tell him I got a hold of his dispatch and they got a truck
Yes.
on, you know,
Yep.
and that's the way it happened. But today
Those were
it
the
doesn't,
days. Yep.
you know.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't. You're right.
I'm old.
I've heard drivers tell me stories about back then, in this time we're talking about, stopping in at little diners or truck stops that served like a full meal, sit down, hot meal, and that the professional drivers would all. It was a common thing where you'd meet up together and have conversation and just that
Yes,
camaraderie that you're talking about. I've heard many stories, and I don't really think that at all goes on today. We got to keep moving today, you know.
you know, and because you're from the Fort Smith area, I grew up
Mhm.
northeast of you,
Yes.
up in
Mhm.
Missouri, up southeast Missouri, just north of the
Mhm.
boot. And I used to run down 67 highway all down through Corning, Arkansas, and all down through there.
Yeah.
And state line truck stop up there at Missouri, Arkansas state line was peach cobbler. Tim, best peach cobbler
The
you ever had
best.
in your life.
Yep.
But when I started trucking in January '89, my daddy told me, he says, son, when you're running them back roads and you come up on a little town and you see a diner and you see ABF or East Texas Motor Freight or
Aw,
Roadway or something like that, he said, you get in there. He said, because
nice.
them boys, they know exactly where to eat. It's a lot of food and it's cheap prices. And everybody knows a freight dollar is cheap.
That's right.
We're tight as bark on a tree. But
That's
that,
funny.
you know, and you have that. You still got a little bit of that today, but
Mm.
not much. Not
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's
Robert, let's kind of transition in here and let's
Okay.
transition to what's going on today with ABF and your role with ABF now, everything that you cover, uh, what you got going on to the current time.
Okay. Well, goodness, I do work in our executive suite. That's where all of our officers are located, our president of ABF, and then we have 9 vice presidents. And I actually support right currently the vice president of line haul operations. That's because that's my home base. And then currently another VP of optimization, which kind of goes hand in hand, with line haul. So I also do manage our road and our load teams. And so I'm really proud of these. These are our top performers out there, over the road, city drivers, dock, street, yard, you know. And so, a lot of people think that's all I do is road and load team, but that's probably the most fun part of my job because of the people. But it's that's not the bulk of what I do, honestly. But it's a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of budget, travel, setting up travel meetings, events, trips, managing calendars, all that fun stuff. So,
Right.
um,
Well, speaking about your road team and your load
uh-huh,
team,
mhm,
do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because you got a
sure.
lot of stuff coming up pretty soon with that, and I
Yep,
think that you guys have actually named a new road team.
we have. Yes.
So, and you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So we do. We have a new road team. It's a 2-year term. It's for 2025 through next year. And we model our road team after America's road team. And so our road team was first developed actually in 1990. So it dates back quite a ways. And so currently, right now, we have 15 members on the ABF road team. Really tough to get on that road team, let me tell you. We pitch you through the grind. You have to be accident free, safe driving. Gosh, I think it's 10 years driving experience, minimum 5 years with our company. Um, the big thing that we do, is to get them ready for America's Road Team. There's that public speaking aspect. We call it a speech. I
Right.
like to just say, tell your story. But in our application process, there is an application, And also, they do a 3-minute dial-in phone speech. And we
Okay.
have a voting process. We have a committee, a road team steering committee. Our VP is the chairman of that committee. And we actually have 6 on our management side. I am one of those on the panel who votes. But then we bring in 6 America's Road Team captains employed by ABF. And so it's an equal number. And we come over, we listen to those speeches, and we're looking at the total package, a true team player. So we're looking at your safety record. We like to see TDC participation. We like to see what you do maybe outside of work, which isn't always easy for a driver. But we just like to look at that total package, and we try to pick the top 15 candidates, and they're actually voted in. And so, yes, that process took from October through the end of December. It's a lengthy process. So actually, I have to say, it starts out with an eligibility report that I run to see if those employees fall within the metrics that we're looking for. And then it goes from there. We usually have about 60. No, this year was high. We had about close to 70 applicants.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was that there's a process to where it gets narrowed down to the top 15. So
Okay.
real excited about these new faces. I'm bringing them in to Fort Smith the first week of April. And, you have to think these are professional drivers. They're used to driving, and I'm bringing them into this office setting, and they're in front of a classroom with an audience, and they're literally up there talking for 3 minutes. And that doesn't sound very long until you have to do that. You guys know.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So I'm really taking them out of their comfort zone. And I really need their trust to trust the process. The way that I do it is I break the team into 3 groups. So I actually have some America's Road Team captains with ABF helping me to serve as a mentor. I have 3 guys right now helping me to do that. So they've been training on and this is all done on your own time. So they've been training since I sent the topics out at the end of the speech topics out the end of December. So I'll see them a month from Monday.
Right. Yeah. And I was noticing you got 15 new road team guys there. Now you say that you model that after America's Road Team. From this new road team, is that who you choose to send on up for selections for America's Road Team? Talk to
That's a great question. Sure, that's a great question. So as we finish up our training in Fort Smith by the end of the week, we allow those 15 members on the road team to do a peer vote. So I'm not voting, and then the America's Road Team captains who are serving as mentors, and that I'll tell you who it is. It's, if you guys know them, it's Bob Bramwell and Nate McCarty and Kirk Weiss. So
top-notch guys. Yep.
They are. I'll tell you, Kirk Weiss has been my right hand for many, many years, and Nate is the thing I have to remember was Nate was actually Kirk's mentor back in the day. So we've kind of brought him back in, and then as a veteran. And then Bob Bramwell's a newer America's Road Team captain. Wonderful reputation there with those 3 guys. I couldn't do it without them. I just could not do this without them. So so the captains don't vote either. So it is strictly among those 15, we are asking for the top 6 candidates. And so that's not solely based on the speech, although that does carry a lot of weight.
Right.
We're doing interview skills, media skills, training, questions, Q&A. We hit them with some pretty tough questions and see how they do with that.
Right.
Give us a good overview of what now. See, this is something that I don't know anything about because the company that I work for, we don't have this. But what about a load team? What is that all about?
And now that's different, and that's fairly new to me. So that's actually based out of service center operations or city ops. But I was given the load team in 2020. Yeah, a fun year. Before that, it had always been managed by service center ops. So that I did take on, and that's 20 members on that team. It doesn't have that public speaking part to it. We're looking for top performers. A lot of them are hostlers, dock workers, and some city drivers if you have dock time. So that again is issued out from the start of that is based off of an eligibility report. So we're looking at about at least 50% of your time is spent on the dock, and we're looking at a series of metrics there to find our top performers. So to even make that list is incredible. So at that point, then I'm looking for 10 members from our DCs and then 10 members from our end of the lines. So
Gotcha.
that's a lengthy process too. And that just finished up a couple of weeks ago, and that's just been announced.
I got you.
So
Yeah.
it's that team has always been a 1 year, kind of a one and done type team.
Mhm.
This is our first year to make it a 2-year team. So I'm really excited about that. Because what happens is every September we bring the teams in. A lot of times it's during National Trucker Appreciation Week. So we'll bring the teams into the corporate office in Fort Smith. And I think we've done it for 3 years now. We bring in the road and the load team together. And I'll bring so that's 35 individuals right there. And then I'll bring about 5 or 6 captains in. So we're talking 40 to 41 individuals in Fort Smith.
And are you responsible for all that travel and setting up all that?
I'm a one-girl show. Yes, that's me. Yep.
Way
And
to
so
go,
here's
girl.
the fun part. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the fun part for me is getting a driver to read his email. Just read your email from
Exactly.
Robin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Steve, go ahead, Steve.
Now, couldn't you imagine doing all that old school where you've got to pick up the phone and you've got to call and make all these reservations, where now you can do it on the computer and
Can't
it's
imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine. Because I actually do call them when they first do. I'll take nominations from our region offices and then our distribution centers. And I always say that's fine till I talk to the individual, because sometimes there's a little bit of a disconnect about what's really going on here. So
Right.
so I see what you're saying, but initially I do make all of those 20 phone calls. And so I'm calling guys that are working inbound, outbound from some cell phone that they don't know. It's really it's difficult to make contact.
Right.
But once we do, I go through a series of questions to make sure we're on the same page and then get them locked in. So, and I have to compliment our road team. Since we have combined this special road and load team week, I cannot tell you the difference that the road team has made in bringing along and just being that example and showing our load team what this is all about. Because like I said, road team has that other series of training they will have been in earlier in the year, like April's coming up. And so they're trained, they understand our expectations. And so it's just a great camaraderie between those two teams. It's really great.
So Robin, I'm fixing to get ready to open up the phone lines here in just a
All
second.
right.
But before we do that, I want you to talk about ABF, the company itself. Give us a little history of ABF. And I noticed that, not too long ago you had a 100-year anniversary or something like that. But go ahead, you got the floor.
We did. Thank you. So in 2023, we celebrated our 100th anniversary, and that is just amazing. We're a proud union carrier, one of the last few out there. And so we're very proud of that, extremely proud of that. In fact, that year, I have to say that we had a special celebration, and that was the first time I was able to bring all of our America's Road Team captains into Fort Smith at one time. And it was just a wonderful way to celebrate our company's history. So we have a unique culture. Just, I really do feel it's ABF family, and we're a tight-knit group, especially among the road and load teams.
Right.
A lot of friendships for life are made through these teams.
For sure. And I can tell you got, top-notch guys there, because I've had the opportunity to work side by side with them. And I don't want to name them all, but there's a few that, I'm really, really good friends and close to. And they're just great guys. They are absolutely great guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the phone lines here. So if you want to call in and ask Robin a question, I got the phone number up there on on screen. So if you want to call 251-616-2151, we'll be sure to try to entertain your questions. Now, let me tell you, if I've got a phone call going and you try to call, please keep trying to call because I can't take them all at one time. But yeah, do try to call, and we'll go from there. We'll take questions, comments, statements. We won't take your order though. We're not taking orders tonight. But
just
anyway,
remember, too, folks, we're a low budget operation here, so Tim don't have a big switchboard there that he can take 15 calls and put them all on hold.
right.
So,
So go ahead, Steve. I'll just wait and see if any calls come through.
Okay, now, Robin, with the road team guys, because some of ours is give speeches and stuff like that, and you've got some guys that can write a speech and knock it out of the park.
Absolutely.
You got some guys is myself. I'm more of give me bullet points, and I'll
take a call here. Right out the chute, exactly who I thought would be my first caller. Welcome to Truckers Voices, Mr. Ben Atkinson. How you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing fantastic. And, I've never been afraid. A lot of people can be intimidated by Miss Robin and what she does, but, she's a great lady, great professional. You know what I mean? So, hey, Miss Robin, how you doing?
Hi, Ben. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Every time a road guy gets on here, she's always afraid of what we're going to say.
Well, hey, we have an open forum here, so
yes.
I shouldn't be afraid, Ben. I've taught you everything you know, so I shouldn't be afraid, right?
Well,
if they did warn me, you'd be calling in.
What I mean? So, yeah. All right, real quick, it is exciting to see you on the hot seat for once. That's fantastic. I heard you talk about intermodal. That's when you learn the real truckers' voices because you was next to line haul.
Yeah.
So that's a little different than what these gentlemen have going on. So,
right.
But great lady. Appreciate everything you taught me. When you talk about ABF, you can look in time and you can remember people by first names like Rocky, Prince, Elvis, Madonna. I'll use Tina. I'll use Taylor for all you Swifties out there. But when you talk about ABF, the Swifties, that's not me, but they're out there. But anyway, when you talk ABF and you say the word Robin, she's a solid core of that company, has been and will always be. So thank you very much for everything you've done for me. And it's been fantastic. So thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I want to give a shout out to our brand new captains for 2024-25, and that would be Ben Atkinson, who just dialed in, and Terry Bennett and Dave Hedeker. So I'm very proud of those guys. We get really close going through this process.
America's road team captain, say, right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So Ben, any last words before I hang up? I had a bet. I knew you'd call in.
He told me you would.
I love to support the show. This is one of my favorite guests.
This is
Rebecca Brewster. I love to hear her talk. She's a lot of information also. But we're good. Everything's good here, and I enjoy what I do every day, and a lot of that comes with just being out here, being safe.
Ben, we're gonna take another call. See you later, brother.
Thanks, Ben.
Yes, sir.
All right. Welcome to Truckers Voices. Who do we have on the line tonight? Welcome to Truckers Voices. Who do we have there? I don't know what's going on with them.
We got Mr. Silent.
Yeah. Hey, if you can hear me, try to call back. We'll put you back on the air. So, well, that was a good call from Ben. And you know what? Why don't I just call that person back? I'll just call him right back. Go ahead, Steve.
There you go. But anyway, back to my question there, I guess.
Hello.
Hey,
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you there. Who we got on the line here?
This is Jim Babalacco from Connecticut.
Hey, Jim. How are you doing? Welcome to Truckers Voices tonight. You got anything you want to say to Miss Robin Johnson?
Yes, I do. There's not enough time in this show to say what she means to not only a guy like me that's been with ABF same amount of time as her, 37 years, but she's the unsung hero behind the scenes. She's been for a long time. I had the privilege to be in down Fort Smith with her a couple times now, and I just want to say she's the best of the best, and we're lucky to have her. How you doing today, Robin?
Good. It's nice to hear from you, Jimmy, and congratulations because Jimmy's back on our load team. I'm glad to have you back in our first 2-year load team, right, Jimmy? That's going to be exciting.
Yes, it's going to be. I'm really, really proud and happy to be a part of such a great company, and more people should know what you do, Robin, because
well, thank you, Jimmy.
It's very important. It's very important because we're a 102-year-old company. Like Ben said, we're proud to be ABFers. That's for sure.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Jimmy, I want to tell you that I'm grateful for what you do, because without what you do, I wouldn't have a job. So that's just something I've always known, and I value that. And you're out there on those front lines, and I'm super proud of you, Jimmy.
Thank you. It takes a team. It takes a team, and you're a big part of that team, Robin.
Thank you so much.
Like I said, people need to know.
Thank you.
I'll let you guys go because I got to get ready for work now.
Hey, you be safe, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for what you guys are doing also.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And don't be a stranger to the show.
I won't. Now I got you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You know, that's the thing. He brings up something right there. I don't care what your company name is. I don't care what it says on your hat or your shirt.
Right.
Just like a wagon wheel. A wagon wheel has to have all the spokes connected for it to turn properly. And that's what we are, is a team. We are a team. If it wasn't for the city guy going out and picking up the freight at the customer, if it wasn't for the dock worker shuttling it from his trailer to my trailer, line haul going down the road, and then we got all the office clerks, we got all the safety personnel. I mean, it's just everybody works together, and it's just one big team.
Yes.
And I don't, like I said, I don't care what the name is on the door. We all do the same thing.
Yes, we do.
And we've got two main issues out here. And number one's do it safe. And number two is make your money and get home safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
To your family. And I think it's awesome. And it's just, it's nice to see and talk with, like, being on the road team and going out with these other fellow captains and you know, camping out in the hotel room and having that time to talk, and you learn about their company, they learn about yours. We're all doing the same thing, but we got a little bit different avenue of getting there.
Sure.
You know,
absolutely right.
I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. And what you do, that's, I don't say how you do it all. I really don't.
Oh, thank you. I tell my guys, I was talking to Terry Bennett earlier today. I think I've talked to him every day this week. He's nominating him for a special award. And he says, Robin, you just make me feel so good. You know, I'm just on cloud nine reading this as a recommendation letter. And I said, Terry, you accomplished all these things. You know, you did the work. My job, in a way, is to just get that out there and make you guys shine on paper or whatever that is. So that's where we do support each other. And whatever I can do to make my guys shine, I'm going to do it.
Miss Robin, we got another phone call on the line. We have got one great driver that's calling in here, and I know her well. Gina Jones, welcome to Truckers Voices. How are you doing, girl?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Hi, Steve, Tim, and hi, Robin.
Hi, Gina.
I drive for the company, but I just wanted to call in and say you are an idol to many women out there.
Thank you.
One of I think I first met you when at one of the conferences during America's Road Team, ATA.
Yes,
and
I remember.
And I follow you. I follow you all the time, and I love the drivers of ABF as well. I do work with many of them on the America's Road Team with the captains.
Thank
so
you,
I
Gina.
just wanted to call in and say you're an inspiration of women in the trucking industry, and I can't wait to see you if you're going to be at MAT.
I won't, but I wish I would. I bet I'll see you this summer. I bet maybe at nationals or something like that. But Gina, I just appreciate you calling, and I would say the same about you being a female in this industry. You you're out there in the trenches, and I know it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. So much respect to you. And I admire you as well. I love to see what you do for this industry, and you're a wonderful role model. So I can't thank you enough, actually.
Well, we learn from the best that's out there, and you're out there, and I enjoy following everything that you do. So I just want to say thank you and happy work anniversary.
Well, thank you so much, Gina. You stay safe and take care.
Gina, take care. Thank you for
Thank you.
calling. And are you and Steve on the road tonight?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are on the road. We're, as a matter of fact, in Arkansas, Little Rock.
Oh, lovely.
Well, honk your horn
Nice.
when you go by.
Yeah, I'll wave at you, Gina.
She's not too far
All
from you.
right, thank you. Have a great night.
See you, girl. Let's talk
Thank
soon.
you, Gina.
See you, Steve. See you, Gina.
Bye bye.
take care.
Gina's a great driver. Her and Steve, they make a
She
great
is.
team there, and they are a vital asset to Warner. All right, let's take another call here. Hey, welcome to Truckers Voices. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Tim Taylor, Steve, Miss Robin, this is Captain Kirk Weiss.
Hey,
Hi.
How are you, everybody?
good
What's
evening.
going on, brother?
How's my friend Kirk doing tonight?
A few times. I just pulled into California. It is 76 degrees, partly cloudy, and I'm going to go for a nice 3-mile walk here when I get to the hotel.
Oh, that is
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. So Kirk, what do you have to say to Robin tonight? And let me say this first to you, man. I'm glad to hear your voice tonight. We haven't talked in a while, but man, you are definitely an inspiration. And I tell you, I know you're a vital asset to ABF there for sure.
Yes.
Hey, we all wear different colors, but we're all pulling for the same thing, moving America. Nothing without trucking.
Right.
But Miss Robin is a class act. I've never seen a more organized person. You might be a little overwhelmed by all her emails, but she does. She don't let no rock sit still. She'll turn it over and figure out everything. But she has got the road team and load team programs going, and she is just a class act for the industry and for the company. I don't know what the company would really do without her, and we just all love her. So she's
Thank you,
great.
Kirk.
Kirk, one piece of advice for the new road team captains. What would it be?
Be yourselves. Be yourselves. America's Trucking Association probably got enough money to go buy spokespeople, but what they want is normal people, to go out and tell their story. We are the professionals. We give that information out there, whether it's share the road or the industry. We are the ones that know the story. So just be yourselves. And anytime you're in an event or whatever, you're going for the position, just be yourselves and have fun.
Absolutely.
I know I've had a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And if you try to be anybody else, you're faking it there, right? So, hey, just be yourself.
Yep.
That's right. Good advice, Kurt. And enjoy your walk, brother.
Oh, I will. One thing I was going to say also is, a lot of new people coming into this industry.
Yes.
Don't feel to push your knowledge forward. Get these new guys, involved, and we'll have safer highways.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody from California, good night.
Good night. See you, Kurt.
Have a good night, brother.
I have to brag on Kirk. He's literally my right hand. I wish he had heard me say this, but I know no one who is better than just having a conversation with another driver and pulling that story out of them, just in conversation. And I've learned to do that. I talk to someone and I think, well, there's your speech. There's your story.
Right.
I've learned so much from Kirk. I can't even tell you. He is one of my dearest, closest friends. So
I've
think
had
the
the
world of him.
opportunity to work side by side with Kurt. He is top notch. And
Yes.
him and Bob and Nate. I mean,
Yes.
you got a good crew there. I've worked,
Thank
I've
you.
worked with all of them there for sure.
Thank
Well,
you so
this
much.
phone line's burning up. I knew it would. Not. Let's
Hey,
take another
good.
call.
It's burning up.
Hey, welcome to Truckers Voices. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hey, this is Meredith. I was just calling in to say hello to Robin.
Hey, Meredith. Thank you for calling Truckers
Meredith.
Voices. I'm going to go ahead and just let you have the mic there. Go ahead, Meredith.
So, I am Robin's work daughter. I started at ABS as an intern, and Robin was my boss. So, she just mentored me and always steered me in the right direction for 9 years now, Robin.
Yes, I can't believe that. You're making me
Always
feel
appreciate
old. Meredith is a superstar. Meredith, are you turning 30? I think she's about to turn 30 years old, I think. I might have that
Yeah,
wrong.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. She's a young one. So what, Meredith? We go back 9 years. You were 21 when
Yep.
you started working?
Yep.
She's a go-getter. I mean, so yeah, just she is my work daughter, and I claim her. I love her. I'm so proud of her. She's
So
done fantastic things. I can't say enough things about Meredith. She's been very supportive of our road team, our load team. She's been out there in the field. She went through a management training program. She worked in Lawrenceville, Georgia,
Yeah.
and worked some out of our DC in Atlanta. We brought her back into Fort Smith. She's been in financial services. We finally got her back on the ABF side, and she's been in engineering. She's now in service center operations. So she's a key player. She can hold her own.
That's
Very proud of her.
awesome. Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah, Meredith. Well, we thank you for calling in tonight. We got a couple of the calls that's trying to get in here, but thank you so much for calling Truckers Voices.
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Meredith.
You picked a great person to have on your show.
Absolutely. I knew it when I did it.
Thank you. Proud of you,
All right.
Meredith.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So we had a call that tried to come in while she was talking, so I'm going to call them back there. How about that?
There you go.
We're going to give everybody a chance, but we're fixing to post the show here in a minute, though.
All right. What do we do without caller ID?
That's
You know?
right.
But,
Here we go.
that's my advice to the road team guys too, is be yourself.
Yes,
Don't
absolutely.
be afraid. Don't be afraid of if you say funny words, because I say funny words.
Mhm.
Hey,
Absolutely.
who do we have on the line here? Hello? Who do we have on the line tonight? Welcome to Truckers Voices. Well, we're not getting anything on that, but maybe they'll call back. We'll see. We'll see. I gave them a chance to call back. So it's 9 o'clock, y'all. So wow, I told you that hour would go by fast, Robin.
Sure
Yep.
did.
Yeah.
And you are welcome to come back for part 2.
Well,
Yes.
I appreciate you guys for having me. You're wonderful. I appreciate all you do for our industry. I think
Yeah.
this podcast is wonderful. Just really appreciate you guys. I've known you for years too, and always happy to run into you and just think the world of both of you. So thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming on.
It's been good. If somebody wants to call in, I'll take one more phone call. So I'm going to leave it open to here for 1 minute. So if you do call, we'll break right into it. Just like that. All right. Welcome to Truckers Voices. Who do we have here on the line? Well, they're not coming through. Hello.
No.
Welcome to Truckers Voices.
Well,
welcome to Truckers Voices. Who do we have? I don't know what's going on. There must be a bad connection on their end because we've had success. So,
yep.
So anyway, well, let's try this one, Robin. Welcome to Truckers Voices. Who do we have on the line? I don't know what's. I'm wondering if my Bluetooth dropped out, y'all.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hey, can you hear us on Truckers Voices?
Said audio check 1 2.
Yeah, really. Well, it says connected. I'm gonna have to end it there because the phone's starting to give us a problem. It may be an internet connection or something. But anyway,
Right.
Miss Robin, we always end on a note of you know, I just had a mental block there, Steve. Safety and encouragement. How about that? So we will start with you, and then we'll go to Steve, and then I'll end the show out. How about that?
Sure. Well, in our industry, safety is number one, first and foremost, always. It's not an easy job what drivers do out there, professional drivers out there every day. A lot of defensive driving. I can only imagine what you see out there every day. So we definitely want you to be safe and get home every day safely, back to your families. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's been wonderful having you on tonight, and we definitely will have to have you back in the future. And I will say good luck to your road team, and
Thank you.
especially to some of those that I know personally.
Yes.
But Steve, a word of encouragement and advice tonight.
Anybody that's trying out for the road team, whether it's ATA or it's your company road team or your state road team, like I was saying, be yourself. Just like Kurt said, be yourself. Let your positivity shine. Speak from the heart. Don't say it unless you mean it. Don't be something that you're not. I'm not the best speechwriter, but give me bullet points and I'll talk forever. And I better shut up now or I'll just keep going. But thanks again, Robin. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And like Robin said, safety is our number one goal out here, because like I always say, the most important trip is a trip home. And guys and gals out there behind the wheel, slow down, let the traffic go. Don't push the issue. It's not worth it. It's not
Stay
worth
off
it.
your cell phone. No texting.
Exactly. Hands free only.
Hands free.
No, but just because the traffic we're coming into springtime, and you're going to come into spring break and travel and everything. Just relax, take a deep breath. Don't let it get to you. It's fine.
Absolutely. Love that.
So,
absolutely.
Thanks everybody for listening.
Absolutely. Thank you, listening audience. And y'all remember that we are on YouTube. You can go back and replay it. We are on Facebook, on Truckers Voices page, Safety Driver Cure, Competition Truck Driver. You just can't make that up page. We're on a lot of pages. We're also upload the podcast to Apple Podcast, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So we are all over the place. There will be a replay in the morning at 9 a.m. of this. If you miss something tonight, just tune in at 9 o'clock. And, now don't look at that phone while you're going down the road for sure. Just listen to it. Okay.
Right. That's right.
Exactly. I do want to say, y'all be careful. Bike week down in Daytona, a lot of motorcycles on the road. We need to watch out for motorcycles, and we need to be extra vigilant. And a lot of people's going to be traveling for the weekend. Listen, y'all look out for those who aren't looking out for themselves. And remember, you can deliver success by delivering safety. Y'all have a good week. We'll see you right here on Truckers Voices next week. Panel, stay right there. I'll be right back with you.
Bye, y'all.
Tim and Steve hit the highway bold and free, with diesel dreams rolling on heavy steel. Every mile is a tale they've got to tell. In the night, their stories start to swell. Truck stops light up with their laughter and cheer. On the open road, there's nothing they fear. Friends gather round, sharing thrills and strife. Life in motion, this trucking life. Hailstorms and endless winding lanes, old familiar tunes driving through the rain. Flat tire fixes under starry skies, fueling up on coffee fire in their eyes. Truck stops light up with their laughter and cheer. On the open road, there's nothing they fear. Friends gather and strife. Life in motion, this trucking life. Memories of highways inked in their mind, freight and friendship closer they bind.
Welcome to Trucker's Voice.